1 year later, New Haven police talk about the investigation into the case of body parts found around the city. A year after that happened, of a man, his body parts found in the downtown area. Investigators still have not charged anyone with murder. Good evening, I'm Ann Nyberg.
I'm Darren Kramer in for Scott McDonald tonight. It is a gruesome story that shocked the city and the state of Connecticut. News 8's Jason Newton takes us through the steps of the investigation so far. New at 6 tonight, he joins us live from where that story first broke near the train tracks in downtown New Haven. Jason.
Darren, the area behind me, it's now been cleared out, but it looked much different 1 year ago today. It was covered with thick vegetation that hid the first pieces of evidence in one of the most notorious murder cases in New Haven's history.
Confusion at first, if they were real or not.
The headlines shocking. Human legs found just feet from a sidewalk and one of the most well-traveled spots in the city. New Haven homicide detectives described the bizarre scene 1 year ago today.
Well, that day was a lot of people here. There's a lot of police personnel from different units assisting because we didn't know what we were dealing with.
It was a day the detectives will never forget. Just a few hours later, another discovery. 2 arms found in a bag a block away near the railroad tracks, and days later a human torso was found in the old Salvation Army building downtown. A scattered crime scene, a gruesome act of murder.
I had never seen a case like this in my career, at least. Something for television, not necessarily for real life, so it was stunning for me.
A year later, homicide detectives David Zanelli and Bertram Etienne spoke to News 8 about the case and their initial thoughts arriving on the scene.
I don't think your training prepares you for that. I don't think anything can prepare you for that.
The remains were that of Ray Roberson, a New Haven native who had fallen on hard times and was homeless. No arrest had been made in his murder, but another man was found in the same building close to where Roberson's torso was discovered. David Andaz was arrested for criminal trespass and sentenced to 2.5 years in jail for a parole violation. New Haven attorney Paul Carty represented Andaz in court.
A lot of times, you know, when you form an opinion ahead of time, you find out that you're wrong.
Carty says Andaz and Roberson knew each other, that they were friends even. Prosecutors mentioned to Carty that his client could be a potential suspect in the Roberson murder, but lacked any credible evidence linking Andaz to the crime.
They never presented you with any theory that, any plausible explanation that, hey, he may have been the guy responsible.
Other than saying that they believed he was connected, no.
With multiple crime scenes, detectives knew this would be a tough case to solve. The abandoned building behind me is now under construction, but 1 year ago, detectives say it was a known hangout spot for squatters.
Witnesses are homeless and nomadic, so they change locations. So finding them and speaking with them are part of our key points there.
Police aren't giving up and say that they have several persons of interest in the case. Having to personally deliver the news to Roberson's family, Detective Etienne is focused on bringing them closure in the form of justice.
A crime of this nature, to be able to sit down with a family member, in this case it was his mom and his sister, and let them know that, you know, this is your son, your brother, who's cut up and spread out throughout the city. Extremely difficult.
They know some key witnesses are out there with information to help crack the case. They're asking for anyone with ties to the homeless community to step forward and point them in the right direction to help solve the infamous murder of Ray Roberson.
They can help us in this investigation, and we need those people to step forward and aid us in any way possible. That's the only way we're going to be able to bring justice to the family.
Now, detectives say they processed over 300 pieces of evidence regarding this case, but some crucial evidence is still out there. They never found the head or the hands belonging to Ray Roberson. If you have any information that can help crack this case, you're asked to give New Haven police a call. We're live tonight in New Haven. Jason Newton, News 8.